you is back then, how much pressure was that when all the media was all over you?
Back then, I was trying to impress people. I wasn't really too worried about the media. Fighting for innings, and we had so many great pitchers here throughout those years. It was tough to get in the mix, and I knew once I got out there, I had to really do well. Because with Coach Service, it's a continuing process where it doesn't matter what you did yesterday, it's what you're doing today. So I was always working with and getting pushed by those other pitchers to just be the best I could here.
Well, as a junior and as a senior, you led the team in appearances, and those are records for appearances in a year. So you had a great time here. Do you remember the first time you took the mound for the Blue Jays?
It was it was a tough experience back in Texas somewhere my freshman year. And I remember shaking out the nerves. I think there were maybe 5 or 6 people in the stands. We were playing in a small field that looked like a high school field. But yeah, I'll never forget that day. That was a tough outing, but I learned from it, and eventually it turned around. Forget that.
Well, I was fortunate enough to be on the broadcast team then, and that was Corpus Christi, Texas. We were playing Texas A&M Corpus Christi. It was their field on campus, and you were the deer in the headlight. And you know what? You never stopped working. I think that's the thing that impressed me the most is you didn't have a very good outing, and you only appeared 5 times as a freshman. But sophomore year you got better, junior year you got better, and senior year you got better. A lot of hard work to play in college baseball.
Yeah, without a doubt. I had been making the trips my freshman year up until that point, but after that outing, I was here on Friday nights while the team was, on the road, and luckily my dad and some of the other freshmen were around here to, help me get through it, and we actually had games where me and the other freshmen and sophomores who didn't travel, we'd get together here and play against each other, have some live outings, and we'd have the games on the radio, just kind of working towards that goal. And eventually, after a lot of time and effort, it turned around and we got to experience that. But it's looking back, it was all worthwhile. There was a lot of good that came from it as well.
As you now have a chance to evaluate and reminisce on your college career, I mean, you still have a great professional career ahead of you, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Is there any point in the 4 years we're here that stood out that it still comes to your mind and your heart and your mind?
There's so many good memories. That 05 team with all those seniors, the leadership roles that they had and just how much fun they made it coming to the park every day. And then 06 going to Vanderbilt and beating those guys. And, we kind of had a rough end of the year, but there were some bright parts of that 06 season. And then 07 and 08, I still have some of the closest friends in my life are from those teams, and there's just so many great memories. And I'd have to say the best was probably beating Wichita in 07 in the conference championship.
Yeah, those were great games. There's no question about it. As you move forward in your pro career here, the first couple years out, they used you essentially as a reliever, and 23 and 22 saves in the first couple years out. What are you looking? Do you think they're still going to do middle relief or end of the game?
I'd say probably middle relief as I move up. I don't have ninth inning kind of stuff. I don't have the velocity that you need to have to be a closer, but I think I can fit in, whether that be a situational lefty or a long reliever where I would switch back and forth between the right and left side. I don't know where that's going to be. I just hope I can pitch well enough to get some kind of an opportunity at the upper levels.
You spent time at Creighton. I believe your sisters go to school here or going to school here, and your parents, Pat Sr. and Janet, have been longtime followers. Even when you're gone, they still at the games. How important was family to you here while you were at Creighton?
Amazing. My dad and I have been coming to games here since I was probably in 3rd grade. I remember, the Dan Lawlers and, the Petro brothers being through here. It's just a lot of fond memories coming down on campus and watching basketball games at the Civic Auditorium. And, Creighton's been a big part of my family's life, and I have a lot of pride for the program. And, being able to play in front of my family was a real treat as well.
Pat, it's been great. If you got anything else you might want to tell the fans out there, I think they're going to love seeing you on there. Oh, well, it's a personal life. Are you still single? Or?
I got engaged last weekend, so looking forward to taking that next step as well. It's a Creighton girl. Her name is Erin Pearl. Her family has a rich tradition here at Creighton as well, and it's been good.
I love it. Keep it in the family. It's a great job. Pat, I appreciate your time, and we'll follow you throughout the year. And don't hesitate to give me a holler or email and keep me up on your status, and I'll pass it on to the listeners on the podcast.